So measuring go-to-market efforts. So we're going to talk about lifetime value and customer acquisition cost. These are important because we do want you to have an enduring, sustainable business. Lifetime value is the lifetime of your product. So let's say thank you, for example, people buy on average, one hand sanitizer a month for the rest of their lives. And so then you can calculate that cost and times it by how many people are your customers in Australia. And that would, and that's the lifetime value. Oh, sorry. So the lifetime value is how much, Fiona uses for the lifetime. Okay, and then you want to also see how much time and money it takes to acquire a new user or a customer. And so the way you calculate this is you might calculate your salaries for salespeople, your overheads, your paid marketing efforts, and tools and software, and then divide it by the new customers that you acquire. So this example is quite, maybe you've got, this is in a month, let's say. So you've got your salaries for salespeople, your overheads for your office, the paid marketing efforts, and then like the software tools. And then you divide it by the amount of customers that you have brought in that month. And that is your customer acquisition cost. And so, you put your channels in here. This is just another way to, another way of demonstrating how to calculate it. Marketing salaries, you're doing a flyer drop, you're doing Facebook ads, you're doing Google ads, here's your total marketing cost, divide it by the amount of new customers acquired in that month, and then you will find your CAC. And so why I'm telling you this is the most important thing here to know is that your ratio between your CAC and your LTV is very important. And this is like the one thing about a sustainable business is if your lifetime value is lower than what it requires to acquire a customer, you're going to need a huge amount of funding and a huge amount of grants to kind of keep you afloat. And so this is from the Engage Worksite. This is from a pitch deck. And so we were using direct sales and referrals. Our customer lifetime value was $90,000. Our customer acquisition cost was $6,000. And so you can see that our lifetime value and CAC ratio is 10 times. And I'm only showing you this because that's kind of the ratio that you want for a financially sustainable business. We want you to make as much impact as possible, but that does mean that, if you are going to realize your grand vision and make all the impact, you do need a financially sustainable business so you can keep going. Now, this is one of those slides where, the startup lingo is not really up to date for regeneration businesses. But so very startup lingo on this slide here, but retention rate and churn rate is very important. Place-based financing or philanthropy financing, or if you have impact financing, they will look at your retention rate. And so that is the number of people that you are retaining across a period. Then basically the opposite of that is your churn rate, the amount of people who are leaving you, let's say every month. Because if let's say you've got 100 customers and, 10 of them are leaving every month, then, by month 10, you're not going to have an enduring business, you might say, or a sustainable business. So you want to be adding customers and retaining them more than they're leaving. And it's just natural that your customers will churn. They may find another product. Maybe you're too expensive. That's okay. Maybe their values change. So you will have some natural churn, but you should be doing some efforts as well to kind of retain those clients or and reduce that churn.